Today I'll introduce you to a man who had an idea and a dream 10 years ago. And because of his quiet persistence, Dutchess Community College now has a top-notch aviation program.
When you're flying instruments, this replaces the horizon, so it'll tell you when the airplane is climbing, when it's descending, when it's banking. Ryan, why don't you give me a climbing right turn to a heading of 300.
John Chosey has been the Aviation Science Program Chair for about 8 years. The idea for the program was entirely his, so he began planting seeds.
I was teaching at Dutchess, I was teaching nights. I had my own business and I was a flight instructor, and as I'm flying around, I'm sitting there going, man, I really love teaching. I love flying. So at the time, Dr. Conklin was the president, and we were at a meeting, and I just said, hey, ever consider an aviation program at Dutchess? And he didn't say anything, he just looked at me, that was it. So then I would just continue to send him, just articles on other aviation programs. And a few years later, there was a new dean. She called me into her office, and I'm shaking because what's the new dean want with me? She goes, well, we're thinking of an aviation program, and Dr. Conklin said, come speak to you. And so they asked me to write the program, so I put the program together.
So Chosey was given the green light.
It required, reporting to different committees and to different organizations at the college level. And I think I was the happiest when the last vote, and they voted yes, and we got the program implemented.
And he says there are not many colleges in New York State that have an aviation program. It's designed for students who plan to transfer to a four-year college or university. Aviation science brings people in without zero flying time and turns them into commercial pilots just after 2 years.
It's a tough program. One of the problems is some of the younger people come in thinking, hey, we're just going to go fly and we're going to have fun. And then they realize, hey, we got to take calc, we got to take physics, we got to take, all these classes. And then we got to be at the airport and we got to fly as well. And so it becomes much more of a challenge than they actually anticipate.
The math is more challenging. The sciences are more challenging. Physics, there's a lot more learning to do. You have to definitely study. You have to be prepared for it.
And he says you get a top-notch education. And when you compare the cost with other colleges, DCC is a great place to start.
Aside from the tuition, which Dutchess Community College has the lowest tuition in the state for community colleges, the lab fees are separate, and they run about $9,000 a semester. So by the time a student's done in 2 years, if they did the process in 2 years, they're spending $35,000 in lab fees in order to get their commercial rating. And some people go, well, that's a lot of money, but in reality, it's not.
It's gotten me all the credits I've needed, to help me for the first 2 years to transfer into Embry-Riddle, and they say pretty much every credit is transferable, so that's going to save me a lot of money right there. And it's just gotten me a really good head start on my career.
So we've established it's a great program with a cost-effective price, but John says there's room for improvement.
It's very old technology.
What he's talking about is the program's antiquated flight simulator. The school needs more up-to-date technology.
It would enhance their training and also make their training much more efficient and can be done more quickly. We don't, if the weather's bad today, we just had snow or whatever, you can't fly. With the simulator, you're in there, you're flying.
Compared to what other schools have, it's just so much more lifelike. And for the new technology that's out there nowadays, it's more comparative to what we're going to see in the real world if we have something new. So
years ago, the school was very close to getting a new simulator after then Congressman Sweeney obtained a grant. But after he lost the election to Kirsten Gillibrand in 2006, the project has fallen by the wayside. So hopefully, if Congressman Chris Gibson is watching,
we would reach for the stars and maybe that $100,000 simulator, but we'll take the $7,000 or $8,000 replacement for this that they could still get some benefit and use from. So any help we could get at all would be greatly appreciated. I'm sure the students would appreciate it. As you know, the lab fees are relatively expensive, and anything we could do to help the students progress and actually save money, I think would be a good thing.
If you're interested in learning more, log on to SUNYDutchess.edu. For HVNN.com, I'm Donna Ryer.